What's up, you guys? Average Rob here, and we're here to do a comparison video between two shoes that I think are going to be absolutely stellar for each other in a comparison. And it has to do with this right here, the Puma Deviate Nitro, and this, the Saucony Endorphin Speed. So we're going to get into this right now. And before we get into this, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. And if you could click that like and subscribe button so I can continue to do more of these videos and obviously get more views out there on the market on YouTube, so I can do more shoe review videos and comparison videos for you in the future. Now, getting into it, these shoes are very similar and very different in a lot of different ways. In fact, I think the way that these two shoes, let me flip this one around because they're both left foot shoes. I don't know why I did that, but let me flip these around. These two shoes are very comparable to each other in a lot of different ways, including the price point on these shoes. And we'll get into that here in just a second. But we're going to start with the one that's been out on the market quite some time, and this is the Saucony Endorphin Speed. Now, this is probably one of the most popular shoes that is out there on social media, is the Saucony Endorphin Speed 1, because the price point at $160, it is a fantastic shoe that gives you a lot for the money. It's pretty much a bang for the buck shoe. It competes with a lot of $200, $250 shoes at $160 price point. It's also very comfortable of a shoe, for a shoe too. Now, it does have this dual layered mesh upper that is super breathable, going through all the way up through the side of the shoe. So it's super breathable even on these hot Florida days that we have out here. It is just a fantastic shoe. And even this tongue is breathable from about the midpoint of the tongue right here down, even has these holes that you can see in it that just allow air to move through and keep your feet really cool. Now, on top of that, you've got a nice little padded spot on top of here. It's not really thick padding. It's not like your Asics type of padded tongue, but it offers just a little bit of padding there just so that these top part of the laces, when you lock that shoe down, it doesn't break into your foot and cause some real big issues there. On top of that, you really have this nice padded heel collar back here that provides a nice comfort and a very generous lockdown in the back of the shoe, to the point where I didn't have to use any type of runner's knot or runner's lace in order to keep this shoe locked down on my foot. The toe box, though, is a little bit on the narrow side. However, I do have to say it's comfortable enough that, to me, it gives you that racy feel. You want to have a shoe that doesn't give too much room, so it gives you that feel like the shoe is really connected to your foot, and this upper does an amazing job with it. The heel counter area is pretty stout, and I think that has to do with this little T piece that's right here. This little TPU or plastic piece that's right back here, I think just does a really good job to just give you that little extra support and extra lockdown back in the heel of this shoe. And I really do enjoy this upper. It's a really comfortable upper, super breathable. It's nothing like, I would say, fancy to write home about, but that's the whole point of a shoe that is going to be a speedy type of half marathon or full marathon type of shoe. Now, moving on to the midsole. It's got that power run midsole that Saucony is super known for, which is very much like Adidas Boost, but bouncier. And I do mean that because it is springy. Even when you land on a heel or even a midfoot, the shoe really likes a midfoot strike, just to let you know. It really likes a midfoot strike. But even if you land slightly on your heel into that midfoot strike, it has this springiness to it. The midsole is super lightweight, and it is super responsive, super snappy, and part of that also has to do with that nylon plate that's in here. Yes, nylon plate, not a carbon plate, but a nylon plate, so basically a plastic plate that runs through the midsole of this shoe to give it a nice rigidity. Yeah, that's a rigid shoe. So it's got a nice rigidity to it, and it also provides just a little bit of bounce back and energy return as you're moving through your stride. So really got to give it to Saucony for that, because it's really lightweight, it's bouncy, it's soft enough that you can run long distances in this shoe, and it just gives you great energy returns to your feet, and your legs feel energized when you're running. And moving on to that outsole that we have right here, you can see lots of rubber right there. And actually, it's really not a lot. You've got this little bit back here, a little extra right here in that outside heel area, so that can kind of absorb some of that abrasion that you'd be landing if you're a little bit of a heel striker. But you got a lot of this exposed foam right here, but this foam is incredibly durable. I got to give it that to Saucony. It is incredibly durable, but you also have a lot of this traction right here, and this does an amazing job at keeping traction and keeping you moving forward, because as you can see by these lines right here, you'll be moving forward. Yeah, you'll be moving forward. So keeps you moving forward and keeps that grip on the road, keeps the shoe incredibly durable. And with that speed roll technology right here, speed roll, it helps you move through your stride real easy. Really awesome shoe. Love this shoe. Now, going into the Puma Deviate Nitro. This shoe is similar in a lot of ways, but very different. So it has a mesh upper with a gusseted tongue, and it's very flat kind of tongue, slightly padded, not very heavily padded. Kind of reminds me of the Nike Pegasus 37 tongue. It's kind of what it reminds me of. Maybe a little bit more padding to it, but very minimal type of tongue to this. It does have a really nice reinforced eyelet chain right here, so it's going to have this really incredible durability. It's also got this, again, it's a mesh, dual mesh upper with screen printed on the side. So where the Saucony has kind of this feel, you can actually see where it's a plastic like kind of cover placed on top. I don't really know if that provides any structure at all, because it doesn't really look like it does, but if it does, I guess that kind of works. But this one, no, it's just screen printed on there. No real structural support going on there, but I like that. It's a very minimalist shoe, and with that nice gusseted tongue that's in here, provides really nice lockdown. Now the Saucony also has a gusseted tongue as well. I didn't mention that, but this just feels really good. Now, moving into this heel area, you have these two padded pods on either side of the shoe here, and nothing really in the heel area. Now, this particular area does cause some problems initially when you're getting it out of the box. If you're not used to it, it can cause some blisters back here in that heel area. So that kind of is a knock on the back of this shoe. However, depending on the socks that you use, if you use a little bit thicker sock, or in my opinion, just a little bit higher ankle heels, ankle sock or whatever, it resolves that issues without any problems. And to be honest with you, the longer you run in this and the more you're able to break this in, the better this is going to get. The more it kind of flexes a little, and it doesn't cause that rubbing issue that has in the first place. Now, because of that, I had to do the runner's lace in this, so I had to kind of loop the runner's lace here for this shoe. But overall, I like the upper. If I had to go between the two of the shoes on which one has the better upper, I'm gonna have to give it to the Saucony Endorphin Speed as far as the upper is concerned. I think it just locks down better. It's a little bit more comfortable because of that heel collar area. I like the toe box area of this a little bit better. It's a little bit more roomy. It's a little bit more forgiving, but as far as breathability is concerned, they're pretty equal. And as far as the lockdown over the top of the foot, I'd say they're pretty equal, but it really comes down to that heel pocket area of these two shoes. And I gotta give it to the Saucony Endorphin Speed on the upper because of the heel area. Just provides a little bit better lockdown, and of course you got some padding back here, so it's just a little bit more comfortable. Who doesn't like comfort, especially when you're on a run? And if you're going fast and you can get comfort, that's the way to go. Now, moving on to the midsole, we've got this Puma Nitro midsole, which is a nitrogen infused EVA midsole back here, with some really good stack height, pretty comparable stack height between the two shoes. I do have to say that. They're pretty comparable stack height between the two shoes. But this nitrogen midsole is a little more forgiving. So where the Saucony is springy, bouncy, you know, I guess you could say bouncy, but springy. I would say it's springy. This shoe is kind of like if you've ever ran in the Pegasus Turbo 2, where it had that ZoomX foam with a little bit of React foam in there. It was just a little bit more cushiony, bouncy, but a little bit more cushiony to that, you know, so when you step down, it has a nice bounce to it, but I wouldn't say it's like springy, where it wants to snap back immediately. It's just, it absorbs and then it returns the energy fluently, is how this shoe kind of works. And that's one of the things that I actually like about this shoe's midsole, is it's a little bit more forgiving over the long run as well. You do have this TPU kind of heel clip back here, and I think that's there just because this nitrogen midsole, because of how soft it is, if you didn't have that plate in there, it would be unstable at certain speeds or certain steps, especially when you're heel striking. You can feel that instability, and you don't want that instability like what you get out of the let's say the Asics Nova Blasts. Okay, we'll just kind of go with that. The Asics Nova Blast, a lot of stack height, a lot of flight foam blast, but it's a little bit unstable. That's why they added that in here, because it's kind of similar in how that feels. It's almost like ZoomX, so if you don't have something to stabilize it, it just kind of becomes a little unstable. And now this does have, by the way, a carbon fiber plate, and you can see that in here. It's their Inno plate. That's right down there. And it does run through the shoe, through the midsole, and provides, as you can see, oh man, it's rigid, very rigid. So it provides, again, snapback, very similar to that of what you get out of the Endorphin Speed. So if I had to pick between the two of these shoes on which one I would pick, I love comfort. I love comfort for a run. If I'm having to do a half marathon, I want something that's going to have probably a little bit more cushion to it, a little bit more, you know, plushness to it. Still have a lot of energy return and a lot of response, but I just want something that's a little bit more comfortable. I'm going to go with Puma Deviate Nitro over the Endorphin Speed on the midsole, because I really love this Nitro midsole that Puma is using. It's really a fantastic midsole that they're using on their whole lineup of the Nitro shoes, but here in the Deviate Nitro, just a fantastic midsole. I love this midsole. Now moving on to the outsole here, a lot of rubber. Puma grip, actually. Puma grip is what we have here. And this Puma grip is incredibly grippy, like a cat running through its grassy knoll. And that is exactly what we get here. It's like the Puma cat running through a grassy savanna field, chasing down its prey, needing all that grip, those claws to dig into the earth to get that speed, to corner better. And that's what you get out of this. It's incredibly durable and it's incredibly grippy. I do have to say that. And surprisingly enough, weight-wise, between the two shoes, slightly heavier, but I'd be honest with you, I wouldn't be able to feel the difference between the two shoes, because we're only talking I don't even think it's an ounce difference. I don't have a weight scale, but I don't think it's an ounce difference between these two shoes. They're very, very close in weight in my size. Now, I went true to size on both shoes. 10.5 is my size, and as far as the fit is concerned, the toe box area is really what makes the difference on the Puma Deviate Nitro right there. But when we're talking about the outsoles here, which one would I prefer over the long run? I'll be honest with you, as much as less weight, less, so it cuts down on weight, not having all that rubber down there, but still has really good grip. But I'll tell you what, this shoe right here, this Puma grip right here, absolutely amazing. It is absolutely amazing. I would definitely pick on the outsole, I would pick the Puma Deviate Nitro on its outsole. It is just that good. It is really that good. So definitely Puma Deviate Nitro based on its outsole. Not only with durability, because it's going to last you a long time, but for the amount of grip you get out of this shoe is just fantastic. So, now, moving into which one would I pick half marathon. That's what I'm going with. Which one would I pick for my half marathon run? And I'm not going to lie to you, it's an overall comfort mixed with speed, mixed with durability, mixed with everything. Which one am I going to go with? And I'm not going to lie, it's a toss-up between the two. If I'm reaching for one over the other, I guess I would have to pick the Saucony Endorphin Speed. Now, this shoe is a really, really good shoe. It's a fantastic shoe, and I actually do look forward to doing half marathons in this shoe. But if I had to pick a shoe right now, I would have to pick the Endorphin Speed. For whatever reason, when you run in the Endorphin Speed, you feel so energized even after the run. Your legs don't feel beat up. They feel nice and comfortable. It's just a great shoe overall. For the money, both shoes at $160 US. Saucony Endorphin Speed, I still think reigns supreme in this category. But hey, Puma, don't knock on this shoe. I love this shoe. I absolutely love this shoe. This is, if you're looking at a shoe that is more versatile, if I'm going into a half marathon race day, it's going to be the Endorphin Speed, hands down. But if I'm looking for a shoe that I can not only do a half marathon with, but I can also train for a half marathon with and use a shoe pretty much every single day, if you're looking for a carbon fiber plated shoe that you could pretty much use every single day for just about every type of training that you could do, fast pace, slow pace, easy days, fast days, fartleks, tempos, you name it, the Puma Deviate Nitro is that shoe. It is that good. You can do so much with this shoe. So versatility wise, the Puma Deviate Nitro is, I think, the more versatile shoe that you can use. You can go faster, you can go slower, you can change your paces real easy with this shoe, and it's comfortable for those long runs. Aside from that little bit right here with that heel cup, but that's neither here nor there. That shoe is just a fantastic shoe. That's, as far as versatility is concerned, this is the shoe that I would pick to buy. If I had to pick one shoe to buy that would be versatile to do everything with, it's going to be the Puma Deviate Nitro. But if I'm going into a race day and I want to be able to put down a really good time, pretty good comfort, and feel energized doing it, it's going to be the Saucony Endorphin Speed. So if I had to pick a winner between these two shoes, I guess it depends on what your budget is. If you have the ability to have a daily trainer type of shoe and have this on the side, then Saucony Endorphin Speed is the winner. If you only have enough money for one pair of shoes that you can race in and you can run training in and easy days and whatever you want to, then the Puma Deviate Nitro is your answer. So I guess that's what it comes down to, guys. Is there a real clear winner between the two of these shoes? Not really, but if I'm going to base it on going into a half marathon race, Saucony Endorphin Speed just reigns supreme. This shoe is awesome. So thank you guys for watching. Again, I know I said at the beginning of the video, click that like, subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. And as always, guys, thanks again for watching and enjoy the run.